Breaking news, a Missouri State Highway Patrol trooper indicted in Jackson County accused of corruption and evidence tampering.
That's right. KCTV5 Zach Fisher joins us now live downtown Kansas City outside the Jackson County Prosecutor's Office with more on these allegations. And Zach, what have you learned here?
Sheridan Bill, Jackson County Prosecutor Melissa Johnson talking about the indictment just several hours ago, accusing a nearly 30-year veteran of the Highway Patrol of serious crimes involving an industry he was supposed to be investigating. Bradley was one of the leading investigators for towing cases in the state. This is video right here of him explaining towing investigations last year. Jackson County Prosecutor Melissa Johnson says Trooper Charles Nate Bradley used his badge to help certain towing companies make money off stolen vehicles without proper law enforcement oversight that she says kept evidence from being collected and blocked full investigations. Among the charges, 10 counts of tampering with physical evidence, stealing $25,000 or more, and first-degree property damage. Court documents claim he took gifts in exchange for violating his duty, delayed the recovery of stolen vehicles, let someone else retrieve stolen cars instead of police, kept a stolen necklace worth more than $25,000, and damaged a 2017 Alfa Romeo by removing valve stems or puncturing tires. Now, prosecutors say Bradley turned himself in last Friday. He's out on a $30,000 bond. Prosecutor Melissa Johnson just saying that it is shocking. It's not every day that they are charging law enforcement officials. Now, the Highway Patrol says that there's an administrative review process that's underway. They did confirm with us that Bradley is on unpaid administrative leave. Live in downtown Kansas City, Zach Fisher, KCTV5 News.
All right, Zach, we appreciate that update. Also,